everyone. Now this video is really very crucial for all the aspirants who are preparing for NEET 2025. Now bacha, we know that NTA, which is our national testing agency, which basically set up your NEET UG exam, is closely associated with CBSE. We know that many members of NTA, they are closely associated with all the members of CBSE, which is Central Board of Secondary Education, which basically set up your board examination. Right now, CBSE has released an important circular of about 15 to 20 pages. Now, this circular basically, consists of all the important points which an examiner take into consideration before setting up or structuring the questions in the examination. If you study, if you'll read this circular, you'll get to know that how, examiner is using his mindset. What is his approach before setting any particular question? Now, think of it, right? We know that a similar pattern is going to get adapted in your NEET 2025 examination because of the close association with NTA, with CBSE, right? So now, if you will watch this video, if you will read this circular, you will get a clear-cut idea that what approach we need to adopt in studying for the NEET exam, right? We'll get to know the mindset of the examiner who is actually curating the question for your NEET 2025 examination, right? I know that hard work is really very important, but just think of it. If you know how the questions are going to get framed, if you know what is the mindset behind the question, what type of questions can be asked, so this will definitely boost your NEET preparation. You will get the idea that how you need to start and buck up your preparation, bacha, right? That is why this video is really very crucial and you need to watch this video till end, okay? So now, without wasting any time, I, Sonali Malik, first of all welcome you all to this incredible platform which is Unacademy NEET English, and now I would like to begin this video. Okay, right? So you can see on your screen, this is the circular which has been published on the website of CBSE, right? Now this circular has certain guidelines, right, which will be, adopted by the examiner before setting up the MCQs or the multiple choice question. Right? So now I'm going to explain the important points in these guidelines which the examiner have to take into consideration. Okay, right? So now let's come to the very first point. The very first point is the role of good question in NEET. See, we all know that your NEET examination is set to consist of good questions. Okay, there are a lot of good questions which are there in your NEET examination, and these questions can only be solved if you have a thorough knowledge of NCERT. That means it is clearly written in the circular that here questions will be good. And if you want to answer these questions, you need to have a well understanding of NCERT, right? You have to focus on everything, whether it is a memory-based concept, right, or it is an understanding concept, because we know that whenever we read the NCERT specifically for biology and for inorganic chemistry, right, and certain important topics in physics as well, right, so there are two type of concept. One is basically based on memorizing, which is a memory based concept which basically includes ratification, right, and the other concept is basically involves the deeper understanding. That means you have to understand the concept so that you can solve the application based questions, right? So they are saying that good questions will be asked, and in these good questions, these questions could be either based on your memory or could be deeper understanding based questions. Am I clear, everyone? Right? Okay. Now, for example, I have taken certain examples which are given in this PDF for all these subjects, for biology, for chemistry, for physics. For example, if they are asking a question, which of the following is a C4 plant? Right? So you have to memorize it, beta. It is given in NCERT. Right? For example, maize is basically a C4 plant. But if you won't memorize it from NCERT, then definitely you are not able to solve this question. So here your ability to recall will be checked out. Okay, so you have to recall things very nicely, right? Okay, fine. Okay, so let's just proceed ahead, beta. Now, here there is certain key points, bacha, which definitely will be taken into consideration before curating the questions in the NEET exam. And this is basically, beta, that there will be a clear questions, right? There will be a clear question. See, one thing is always followed in NEET examination, that questions which is going to be asked will be based on single concept. Okay, for example, if the examiner wants to ask you the question based on Leach-Atelier principle, he will ask you to apply only Leach-Atelier principle. Am I clear, everyone? He won't ask you to apply degree of dissociation into it. Fine. So that is the beauty of NEET examination, that they do not mix two concepts or three concepts. They always ask questions based on single concept, right? Okay, so they are saying that questions will be very clear. They always will be based on bacha single concept, and they will be easy questions, right? And will be strictly from NCERT. Clear? Okay. Further, they are saying, yes, we agreed the question will be clear. But beta, the question will be logical. The options will be logical. That means they will give all the 4 options logical. Right? And if all the options are logical, it will become very difficult for us to eliminate the wrong answers, right? You know, here the wrong answers are basically known as distractor. Distractor means the options which seems to be correct, but they're incorrect, right? So they are saying that distractors will also make sense. That means they will also be seen that yes, they are correct options. Am I clear, everyone? Right? So here, if you will understand the concept, you know, correctly, right? If you read each and every important point in NCERT, then only, beta, then only you can eliminate this distractor. That means what is the best way to eliminate distractor? That is, beta, you need to read each and every point in NCERT. You need to, you know, understand each and every concept, whether it is, you know, a difficult concept or an easy concept. You need to have a deep understanding of it. Then only you can eliminate distractors. Am I clear, beta? That means the option which seems to be correct but are not at all correct. Fine. So now let's just proceed ahead, beta. See, here, the point which I have explained in the previous page. Now I have an example for it. Okay, so the question has been asked in NEET 2024 examination, right? The question was, Felling's solution A is option A, aqueous copper sulfate, option B, alkaline copper sulfate, option C, alkaline solution of sodium potassium tartarate, and option 4, aqueous sodium citrate. See, if you haven't read each and every line of NCERT, then it will become very difficult for you to eliminate the distractor, right? Because if I talk about, beta ji, Felling test. Now, Felling test is basically performed with the help of Felling solution, okay? It is basically performed with the help of Felling solution, and this Felling solution basically consists of both Felling solution A as well as Felling solution B. Okay, now Felling solution A is copper aqueous sulfate, right? Whereas Felling solution B is basically your alkaline sodium potassium tartarate. Am I clear, everyone? It is alkaline sodium potassium tartarate. Fine. Okay, now here in this beta question, the examiner haven't asked you what is Felling solution. He have asked you what is Felling solution A. Now students might get confused if they haven't read each and every point clearly. They said, oh, it's copper sulfate, but whether it is aqueous or alkaline, beta, you need to have a careful reading of NCERT. So that is the point which I want to explain. Okay, so here you will able to select that yes, it is aqueous copper sulfate only when you have read each and every line deeply. Am I clear? I hope I made my point really clear to you guys. Okay, so now let's just proceed ahead, beta. Let's just proceed ahead. Now further, they have told about what type of questions that can be asked in your NEET examination. Okay, so they have told that there are numerous types of questions which can be asked in the NEET examination, beta. Fine, there are numerous types of questions which can be asked in NEET examination. The very first type is assertion reason questions. Now for all the NEET aspirants, always, you know, always it becomes very difficult right, to attempt assertion reason questions. Why? Because here they don't have to deal with one statement, they have to deal with two statements, right? And sometimes they have to correlate the two statements as well, right? For example, the assertion is given, so you have to rectify whether the assertion is correct or not. Then you have to see the reason, that whether the reason is correct or not, and then you also have to see that whether the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion or not, right? So here, beta, you need to figure out both the statements, and that is possible only when you are aware of both the statements, and that is possible only when you have a clear cut idea of NCERT's each and every line. This year, beta, in physical chemistry also they have asked assertion reasons question instead of numericals, right? And students were confused, right? They were confused regarding both the statements correction or both the statements correlation, right? So that is why, beta, I am saying if you want to master it, you have to read each and every line very carefully. Okay, right? Fine. Okay, for example, see the first assertion they have written right here, that metal conducts electricity, and the reason is metal have free electrons, right? So here assertion is correct, reason is also correct, and reason is also the correct explanation of the assertion. Now here you are able to solve this question within 1 minute, which is the actual appropriate time which should be utilized in NEET exam for solving one particular question. This can be solved in only 1 minute. Why? Because I know about the concept. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, so please carefully understand each and every line of NCERT, then only you can master assertion reason questions. Fine. Okay, similarly, statement based question also, beta, here also you have to judge one or more statement, that whether they both are correct, whether they both are incorrect, whether first is correct, the other one is incorrect, or the vice versa situation. So here also the same concept had to be applied. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, fine. For example, see here they basically have given two statements. It is a biology question, so don't make fun of me. Okay, so here they have given two statements, you must be aware of it. So statement one is mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, and the statement 2 is basically mitochondria is found only in plant cell. So if you are good at biology, you must be aware that yes, in NCERT it is clearly mentioned that statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. However, if you haven't read it carefully, then definitely you were not able to attempt it. I am sure about it. Fine. Okay, right. So here also they have given one more statement based questions of chemistry. So why I am putting these examples, because this will make this video more interesting for you guys, that what ma'am is basically, trying to explain, right? For example, here it is a question of your NEET 2024, and it is a statement based question. Now the statement 1 is aniline does not undergo Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. Now it is absolutely correct, right? This is absolutely correct. Why? Because aniline is basic, and here the reagent which we are using is a Lewis acid. So it will be an acid-base reaction, result into the formation of anilinium ion, and this basically deactivates the ring for an electrophile to attack and for electrophilic substitution reaction such as Friedel-Crafts alkylation, right? So definitely statement 1 is correct, right? And similarly, beta, statement 2 is also correct, that aniline cannot be prepared through Gabriel synthesizes, okay, Gabriel thalamide synthesis, right? So this is because of the fact that here we can only prepare aliphatic amines, not aromatic amines, right? So if you have read the NCERT, then this becomes very easy for you to solve. However, if you haven't, then you can't do anything about it, right? Okay, so they haven't asked you the mechanism. See, they haven't asked you the mechanism. Any question, is not here, right? Which basically involves the understanding of mechanism, but purely NCERT lines, right? So they have given a clear-cut indication this time that, guys, you have to buck up and you have to focus on each and every line of NCERT, right? Okay, so now let's just proceed ahead, beta. Third type of question which they can ask are again match the columns type of questions, and here, beta, you have to correlate the concepts. Okay, for example, if they have asked you question regarding the coordination isomerism, the structural coordination isomerism, then you must be aware about the examples, Am I clear? If you are not aware about the examples, then you can't match the options, and then obviously you will lose your 4 marks. Or if you'll do it in a wrong manner, then you will lose your 5 marks, because 1 marks for negative attempting the question. Okay, for negative marks for attempting the questions. Am I clear, everyone? So you have to correlate the two concepts very clearly, and you have to learn the example of each and every concept. It's really important, whether in biology, whether in chemistry, specifically for inorganic chemistry. Am I clear, everyone? Right? Now, they may ask you diagram-based question. They have clearly mentioned that yes, diagram-based question can also be asked. Right? In this particular type of questions, you need to identify the part. For example, if in chemistry, in electrochemistry, they give you a Daniell cell. Right? So you need to be aware that what is the cathode, what is the anode, okay, what all material is present in the salt bridge. So you need to have a good idea of all these concepts. Each and every part of the diagram should be clear to you, whether in chemistry, whether in biology, right? So they may ask you diagram based questions as well. Okay, everyone, fine. Okay, so now let's just proceed ahead, bacha. See, I know you must be thinking, ma'am, how can we memorize so many statements? See, beta, the examiner might ask you assertion, reason, statement based questions, or match the column based of questions, but you need to keep one thing in your mind, that here there is one advantage of NEET examination, that the quick testing, right? What is the great advantage? But it is the quick testing. See, here you have 200 questions and you have a 3 hours 20 minutes. That means you have 200 minutes. 200 questions, 200 minutes. That means you have 1 minute for every question, right? So if examiner is making any question tricky, then he will definitely try to make the another question easy one, right? That means he will try to create such type of question which is, which can be answered only by just seeing the question. For example, here the question is, what is the speed of the light? Okay, so it is a fact-based question. You know that it is 3 to 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. I know this easy question won't be asked in the examination, but I'm just saying that such type of questions will also be there, which will be fact-based, okay, which requires hardly 10 to 20 seconds of yours. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear? Okay, fine. Now let's just proceed ahead, beta. Here are the common pitfalls or the common mistakes which CBSE or NTA do not want you to fall on. Okay, so here beta, you should avoid negative words. Okay, you should avoid negative words. I mean, there are many questions, right, in which a word not is given. Okay, so they may ask you that which of the following molecules are not sp3 hybridized. So you have to take into consideration the word not, beta, right? For example, in biology, once they have asked you the question, which of the following is not the function of kidney? Now all of you will cram all the functions of kidney, right? And once you see the word of functions of kidney, you say, oh, first option is correct. But no, you have to take into consideration the word not right here, beta. It is really very important. Am I clear, bacha? Am I clear? Okay, so please take care of the words like not and except, because many of you, every year, are losing lot and lot of marks just because of these silly mistakes. So please, whenever you are solving or practicing such questions, make sure whenever you find the word not or except, first underline this, so that whenever you will read the options, you are aware that you have to select the option which is not. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, right. Now, beta, at times, we all are confused, right, between two options, right? We actually think that might be both of these options might be correct, right? So in such case, do not waste your time. Do not waste more than 1 minute to any of your question. If you have analyzed it, you are confused between two questions, then make sure you mark a circle, okay? You mark a circle and leave that question for now. Right? Once you are completed with your paper, then attempt that question and then read both the options carefully in which you are confused in, and then see, I guess this might be the correct answer because here I can apply this particular concept. Then only attempt that question. Also, if you are 50 to 60% sure about it, if you are completely unsure, then please leave that particular question. Avoid negative marking. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, so for this also you need smartness. Fine. Okay, now let's come to the conclusions of this, or the final tips of this, which I would like to give you, bacha, right? So final tips which I understood CBSE and NTA both wants you to know is that please study NCERT book thoroughly. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, fine. Questions can mightily asked directly from text, even from in-text, even from examples, even from back exercise. So make sure to read the NCERT thoroughly. Okay, right. Next, beta, do not overthink or look for tricks in the question. NEET questions are designed to be clear and simple. That means they will ask you simple questions, clear-cut questions based on one concept. So do not apply much amount of brain, or do not overthink about one specific question. Questions will be simple, clear, logical, and one concept-based questions. Right. After that, beta, do eliminate clear wrong options or clear wrong answers, before attempting the correct options, right? There are 4 options, and among them, I'm always sure that you always get to realize that these 2 options can never be the correct answer. So please eliminate them as quickly as possible and then think about the other 2 options, right? And if you're still confused between the 2 options, leave that questions for the last. Am I clear, everyone? Fine. Okay, please do not ignore any diagrams. Please appear and visualize each and every part very carefully, because question can ask from any section of biology and chemistry. Especially, do not ignore all the diagrams, okay? Clearly visualize all the diagrams which are present in NCERT. Fine. So I hope this video will be crucial for you. This will make your preparation more easier. This will boost your preparation, and now you must have a clear-cut idea about the approach, right, from which the examiner is going to curate the questions in your NEET 2025 examination. Okay, so all the best from my side. Keep studying. Thank you and have a really good day. Bye-bye.